Welcome, dear guests right here, and also the guests watching the live stream or the YouTube videos later on. And if you want to watch those YouTube videos or one of these talks back, there are some QR codes on the, I see one over there, and there are probably more where you can find our social media channels where you can watch these talks back. On stage, we'll be talking about Linde's high flow solutions with none other than unexpected Linde Hydrogen Fueltech. Please welcome the product manager, Jan-Hendrick Kunz.
Yeah, thank you very much for the introduction. As already said, my name is Jan-Hendrick Kunz. I'm product manager at Linde Hydrogen Fueltech. We are an entity inside the Linde company focusing on hydrogen refueling solutions. And I'm going to talk about our high flow solutions that you can expect from us in the following months and beginning of next year. But first, let's take a look at the hydrogen world. So basically, as we all know, there's a lot of discussion going on about the supply side of hydrogen. We have people saying LH2 is the only possibility or the only way to go, or electrolysis, on-site storages, so the gaseous supply, or trailers where we see 380 bar right now, or even in the future up to 640 bars. And the same thing is happening on the refueling side. So we have compressed gaseous 350 bar, compressed gaseous 700 bar with their advantages and disadvantages. And also now the newer technology SLH2, so subcooled liquid hydrogen. Basically, no one, not even us at Linde, can say where the future is heading. But what I want to tell you today is that we definitely have the solution for all these possible scenarios, and also, of course, high flow solutions for these scenarios that will be revealed this year. So let's start on the liquid side, where our first new product, where I want to show you our first new product, which will be commercialized later this year, end of this year or beginning next year. Basically, it's based on our cryopump technology, where we already have experience. So our current portfolio, the cryopump compresses hydrogen, liquid hydrogen up to 900 bar. Now we have the cryopump, which is a high flow solution that can compress liquid hydrogen up to 500 bar with a throughput of 300 kilograms per hour. So basically here we have the liquid side, inlet refueling 350 bar, so buses, trucks at the moment. But let's say you deploy a station with our cryopump high flow in the liquid markets, and then the pressure or refueling pressure goes up to 700 bar. For that, we have our second new high flow solution that I want to introduce to you, which is the ionic compressor booster, so the IC booster that is based on our ionic compressor technology that can take hydrogen from pressures around 450 bar up to 900 bar. So really boost the demand for 700 bar refueling that you need, which is basically also running on 300 kilograms in this configuration. It's also modularized and can be used with 150 kilograms per hour or added on to even more pressures. So here we got the liquid side, 350 bar and 700 bar refueling checked with our high flow solutions. Now I want to talk a little bit about what you've probably already heard, our SLH2, so subcooled liquid hydrogen solution, where we refuel liquid hydrogen or compressed liquid hydrogen at the inlet up to 16 bar and refuel with these 16 bar into the vehicle tank. It's a thing that's currently being developed. We are now deploying the first stations. Of course, it's an early stage development. They aren't serious production vehicles right now, but it's a very great solution that I will talk about in more detail later on. So now we got the liquid side covered, 350 bar, 700 bar, and SLH2. Now we're going to the gaseous supply side. So at the inlet side, we have electrolysis, on-site trailer, as I already said. And on the refueling side, 350 bar. For that, we will reveal later this year, probably somewhere in September, October, a new gaseous high flow compressor solution. So basically a gaseous compressor that can utilize very low inlet pressures and compress it up to 500 bar, also with a flow rate of 300 kilograms per hour. Then again, The other new product I already introduced before is, again, the station to really get it up to 700 bar. The IC booster, ionic booster compressor, can be added, and so we have the possibility to utilize gaseous hydrogen, compress it up efficiently to 500 bar for 350 bar refueling, and then on demand also compress it up to 900 bar for our 700 bar refueling. Let's look at it in a little more detail. So our CP high flow is, as I said before, based on our cryopump technology that we have improved and changed, so it can really achieve a flow rate of 300 kilograms per hour and outlet pressure of 500 bar, still with a very low energy demand of somewhere between 1.2 1.5 kilowatt hours per kilogram dispensed. So basically very low demand that can't be matched by any gaseous compressor at the moment. The station footprint for this high flow is also very low, with less than 55 square meters for the whole station. Also with the connection power, the big advantage if we look at battery electric vehicles is less than 400 kilowatts connection power on site for the refueling. The pump can run 24 hours, and so we can achieve a theoretical throughput of up to 7.2 tons per day. Also with this cryopump, which would also be revealed for our current cryopump product, is an improved service intervals, improved service time, so longer mean time between maintenance and quicker service time, and an enhanced, smaller and more efficient thermal management system. Now if we look at the IC booster, it's based on our ionic compressor technology, so we use ionic liquid as a sealant for cooling and to really separate the gases from the hydraulic side in our compressor. Now this new configuration is based on the current thing, so we know what we're doing, we have experience with the product. It's configured in a different way and can be utilized also on existing stations. It can be utilized with our new gaseous compressor. It can also be used to extend stations with our current IC platform compressor, so our current efficient compressor for 500 bar refueling. Again, if you look at the specs, we have a flow rate of more than 300 kilograms per hour, an inlet pressure of 450 bar, outlet pressure of 900 bar, total energy demand for this compression of 0.5 to 1.6 kilowatt hours per kilogram, depending on temperature. A station footprint for this compressor unit with less than 20 square meters, a connection power of less than 250 kilowatts, and also in this product a refueling window of 24 hours. So really, with compressor can run 24/7, and we can achieve refueling daily throughputs of up to 7.2 tons per day. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about is our SLH2, which is really a technology we see coming in the next year. Of course, you need liquid demand for that. So in the US or in Korea, it could be achievable right now. In Europe, we need a little more time to really deploy our liquid network for that. But basically, the technology here is we have liquid supply. Our pump compresses the liquid hydrogen up to 16 bar into the vehicle tank. So with these 16 bars, we have minimized boil-off, we have longer holding times in the vehicle tank. We can achieve flow rates of up to 500 kilograms per hour with one single pump. Refueling time for a vehicle with an 80 kilogram tank is somewhere between 10 and 15 minutes. We don't need any communication between the vehicle and the refueling stations. It's just put through. There's nothing that could fail there in this communication. Basically, the station can operate by itself and doesn't need to communicate with the truck or with the vehicle that is refueled. The station footprint is also with 50 square meters, a very small station. The storage tanks can be adapted to the different sites, which is in the Linde portfolio, but can currently be up to 4 tons, but even higher in the future. And you can refuel back to back in parallel and everything you can imagine. Yeah. So that what is from my side. Thank you very much for listening. I hope to welcome you at our booth in Hall 13 at booth E45-1, where we can also talk about other things that we are currently deploying, or have already deployed in our portfolio, like for modularization, integrated solutions like with electrolyzers, everything about the hydrogen world and everything you can imagine to talk about. Thank you very much.